Methods to address and overcome the barriers that we have just spoken about. So I know cost is a barrier, and how can we overcome that? Discounted pricing. These are the boots that I wear. They are £220 full price, but I personally do no longer buy boots that are full price. Okay, some people do, some people always do. Again, depending on level of disposable income. This will link to the case study and how can you overcome that. So me personally, I choose a boot that is in the sale, but is still the top level boot that you can buy. I choose Puma because that is my preference. Some people like Nike, Adidas, and again, these prices may vary. So again, within the case, if I want to pick a lower costing boot and I've picked football as my sport, I might then choose to have a discounted boot. Still within the cost barrier, we are looking at now golf clubs. So you can hire equipment at any golf club you go to, whether it's the driving range or Crazy Golf, they will allow you to use their stuff. This is my golf club. I am a lower level of golf. So therefore my golf club is an Odyssey golf club, and I know for a fact is not top of the range. I don't need it to be top of the range. I am not a good enough level golfer to require top of the range golf clubs. I have chosen to put a Super Stroke grip onto mine, keeps the price down for me. I'm still practicing, I'm still learning, I'm still trying to improve my skill ability within golf. So I've therefore selected a golf club that is cheaper but suitable for my needs and my ability. I drive, I'm an adult, again, case study dependent, age group dependent, will depend on what way you overcome the barriers. Still within cost, is there free car parking? Am I an older adult? Have I got a free bus pass? Can I get a bus to and from a lot cheaper than either cycling and buying a bike? What is the best way for the individual selected or given to you in the case study to get to and from the voluntary sector that you might have chosen, the public sector you might have chosen, or the private sector you may have chosen? One does slightly cross over. We are now on to overcoming the barrier of access. So are there accessible ways for you to get to and from cheaper? So am I available or accustomed to being able to get a bus pass? Am I a student? Can I get a student discounted train ticket, again, or a bus ticket? Am I a youth at a primary school, therefore my parents can take me in the car? So there is no cost for me if I'm 8 years old going to and from a leisure centre. But that does bring into account someone else that has to pay for it. So that access is still not a barrier for the 8-year-old, but might then be slightly cost barriers for the adult that's taking them. Taster days. This is something that is easily accessible for people with low disposable income. Even ones that have got a good level of disposable income will be interested in a free taster day, because who knows if they're going to enjoy it. Is this going to be the sport for me? Is this going to be the outdoor activity for me? Is this going to be the individual sport for me? Taster days are brilliant for that first bit of access and that first initial enjoyment gauge. As a leisure centre in a public sector, have they looked to delve into increasing the range of activities that they do so it is accessible for everyone if they are hearing impaired, visually impaired, or physically impaired? Have they managed to invest into their public sector leisure centre to the extent to involve as many people as possible in society? Again, looking at hearing and visually impaired, is there braille in certain areas of the leisure centre? Have they managed to make it completely accessible for them so that they can have the smoothest transition within the leisure centre that they're in? Are they hearing impaired? Okay, so are there a lot of visual signs so they can access, move around and locate themselves when they are in the leisure centre? Private sectors, more cost, more money invested into them, so you would like to think that they have definitely got these things in place. Time, overcoming the time barrier, is there may be opening hours that are extended. We were speaking about those working hours that are through the night or over multiple days. Is there extended opening hours? Public sector leisure centres are open for 24 hours around the world in the UK now. So is that something that they have got to allow all participants, all ages, to access their facilities? So to overcome some of the personal barriers that the individual may feel that they have in the case study, so are there private changing rooms? It's not a communal changing room. That is one thing and one way that they could overcome them that the leisure centre is invested in, or some of the voluntary sectors have invested in. Private sectors, most definitely we would look to think that they have invested in that private area for certain individuals with these personal barriers. To overcome personal barriers, does the sport, does the activity allow individuals to wear what they are most comfortable in? This one will be very dependent on the level of the sport that the individual is looking to play, again in the case study. This will all be relatable to the case. If they are 8, if they are in secondary school as an adolescent, if they're an adult or an older adult, they are going to want to wear the most comfortable outfit for them in the certain sport. But if they're an adolescent or adult, or even young primary student, and they are at a pro elite level, they are going to be a lot more restrictive on the comfortability of what they wear. It's going to be more set in stone if you're an elite level athlete that you need to wear the certain attire. Within the sectors, is there a variety of posters around or adverts around that shows diverse participation? Can you see someone with a disability taking part in the sport or activity you want to do? Hearing disabilities, physical disabilities, or some of the actual long-term health conditions. People want to know and understand that everything is accessible for them. Are different body shapes also promoted or visualised, again on those posters? And are there different sports that families can join in and do together so that people can come and do a group class, so that that lack of self-confidence can be increased by doing it with familiar people? Are there campaigns to increase participation? Have the public sector created a campaign that's going to really push a certain age bracket that we have looked into? There might be some cultural barriers that we can overcome by female-only sessions. That might have been a barrier. They might have thought, actually, I feel a lot more comfortable with the same gender when I'm doing my first 3 to 5 sessions. So there might be some female-only sessions. It does not mean there are not male-only sessions. It's just that the decline in female participation from a certain age needs more of a push and an incentive to increase that participation. Is there a diversity of the staff that work at the facility? Voluntary, public or private, no matter what three, is there a diverse culture balance within the staffing?